Alrighty, so thanks for joining us. And I just wanted to bounce around a little bit. So this is going to be module or lesson 4, scheduling showings and pre-qualifying buyers. So on the last module, we went over initiating contact, which could be handled by either you or the agent, depending on if your client wants you to handle that. And again, it's initiating contacts, maybe following up once the lead comes into the CRM, once they're imported with correct source, motivation, tags, and then again, contact was initiated on the last module. Now let's say, again, once it's contact initiated, you want to obviously log anything. Anytime you contact or talk to a lead, you're going to log contact results in CRM and update the lead stage, attempts, if it was even a voicemail. If they didn't reply, it would be noted. Again, any notes. So after that, the set up buyer intake questions for qualifications. So again, your agent will determine what qualifying questions they want. So VA uses provided questions to gather budget and timeline goals. So next, your next goal is to book buyer consultant appointment. So scheduling via Calendly, go high level, direct coordination with your agent, however they want to coordinate that. Again, we use go high level, which has almost similar to Calendly bookings, and we can help provide that to your client potentially. So again, feel free to guide them on a coaching call. That's why we have continued support to talk about that and offer that as a tool. So that way, if you do get a potential lead, you could even go in there, book on your client or realtor's schedule for them to meet with. Let's say, they want to put the property details, time, name, phone number, and notes. So again, we'll jump back into scheduling the showings and pre-qualifying buyers, module 4. So welcome as a virtual real estate virtual assistant. Sometimes it'll be required to schedule directly property showings for qualified buyers, and same with sellers. Like I mentioned, right now it might even be a seller with a property address, but there's different ways to schedule, and depending on the client, they may want you to go onto MapQuest or Google and schedule the showings directly, and then also set up the coordinate with the buyer. So just depending on what level of comfortability they are with you doing that, we'll jump into a brief overview, quick training on what it looks like. So this step helps the agent save time and not only meet with buyers who are ready, willing, and able to move forward. That's what we're looking for, is ready, willing, and able buyers. So why it matters: every showing takes time, coordination, and communication. Realtors work weekends and evenings for these appointments. So the job is to make sure the buyer is financially able to work and able to purchase. So they're working toward approval. If they aren't, the property is available and the showing request is confirmed, and the agent is properly notified and prepared for the showing. So we want to make sure that everyone's on top of it. What you'll need is access to the realtor's MLS or showing tool like ShowTime, Calendly, Google Calendar. For instance, here is one of our showing tools. It's called Align Showings. And what a lot of agents do is when they get showings after the buyer comes in, says what properties they like, you would go in there and request them for whatever said time. Let's say if there's numerous showings, you would want to put them all into a MapQuest, start with the closest one closest to your client, preferably, or however your client wants to work that. And essentially you would line up all the showings like these, and you would go into MapQuest, or Google, and set up the quickest route, and then coordinate. You would get them all, you would set them up. And then what a lot of real estate agent clients like to do is the morning of, every day you'll log in, depending on, if I'm more of a listing agent, so you can see there's not too many of the buyer agents, the ones representing a lot of buyers, their calendar will be booked. It's like every day is crazy. So what you'll do is you'll want to text and confirm the agent, and then the buyer, and then the selling listing agent, that the appointment and that the client is going to be showing those homes. So you want to coordinate with all parties that, to remind them that which homes they're going to be looking at. So just sending an itinerary, and it's super easy. I mean, you can screenshot, take a picture of this, throw it into ChatGPT and say, hey, look, I need an itinerary. Sometimes I would use chat to say, hey, look, here are these addresses. help me set up the best time, potentially set up like a roadmap or again an itinerary I can share with the the agent that you're helping your client and whatever. Let's just make sure to help get the job done and help our client find the easiest route possible. So again, it takes a lot of time. Why it matters is because it takes a lot of time doing these showings. So with access to those tools, we want to make sure to work accordingly. Agent's preferred lender contact, because we are going to be helping qualify buyers if necessary. CRM with notes about the lease price range and desired area, urgency, scripts and checklists again, and we will provide. So here are some basic qualifying questions. So ask the buyer these questions first. Which homes are you interested in seeing? Have you seen any that you like? Or that's one of my favorite qualifying questions is, hey, just wanted to check in. Have you seen any homes that you'd potentially like to check out? And then if they say yeah, then you can say, okay, great. Well, hey, just out of curiosity, have you had a chance to speak with one of our preferred lenders, or would you like to get in touch with them? Boom, go from there. Or what days, times work best for you? Do you have a pre-approval letter? If not, are you still getting financing in place? So document all answers in the CRM under lead notes. If they aren't pre-approved, process or proceed to the pre-qual step below. So if they do have a pre-qual, you'll check the MLS or showing app. You'll look up the home on the MLS platform. You'll schedule the showing. Again, I already gave notes on that and tips. And if it requires the agent to agent contact, message, or email the listing agent using a saved template. So add to the agent's calendar. Again, you can use different resources to save that in according on how your client wants to work that out. We use Go High Level. So I have a link where it's buyer consult, seller consult. I would highly recommend having like a link tree or a one pager with all the different links for your client. Maybe set them up a nice link tree with, just listed homes, get pre-approved, schedule a seller consult, schedule a buyer consult, something along those lines. So you could even have a link to that. Step 2, let's move forward. Pre-qualifying the buyer. Important. Your job is not to give financial advice, just to ask the right questions to see if they're ready to talk to a lender. So here's a basic script that your client may want you to use. So before we schedule too many showings, agent name recommends we check where you are in the pre-approval process. Have you spoken to a lender yet or got pre-approved? If yes, ask them to email it to us. If no, offer to connect with one of our agent's lenders. And here's an example message. Totally okay. We can help. I'll introduce you to a lender's name who can answer any questions and get you pre-qualified fast. This helps make sure that we're only looking at homes that match your loan type and budget. So again, here are the tools you may need. MLS for setting up the property info and showing instructions. ShowTime and Showing Time Plus or Align Showing, Google Calendar and Calendly, Go High Level, so on and so forth. May even just be Showing Time or Align Showing, CRM to log all notes and to put the pre-approval status and documentation, email and text templates. Common mistakes to avoid: scheduling without confirming the buyer's availability, forgetting to notify the agents or updating the calendar, assuming the home is available without checking the MLS, not asking about financing, wasting time on unqualified leads. So, checklist summary. Ask buyers for preferred homes, days, times, and lender status as you get that buyer lead. Check the MLS for ShowTime, online showing to confirm showing availability. Confirm appointment time with both buyer and agent, usually the morning of. Log details into the CRM plus agent calendar. Follow up to confirm day before showing. Pre-qualify the buyer or refer to lender if needed. So, walkaways. You now have the tools to confidently schedule a buyer showing and pre-qualify leads. So this task alone can save your realtor hours every week and help more serious buyers toward the finish line. In the next module, we'll cover how to We will cover how to send property lists and set up MLS IDX searches to keep your buyers engaged and returning to your agent instead of to Zillow. So let's go ahead and set up and send property lists. Talk to you soon.